this is the State of the Union right now. These are all the people gathered for the State of the Union. I got to say, when Trump was president, there was a lot of media attention around the State of the Union, mainly because, or the State of the Bunyan or the Bonian, depending on how you like to pronounce it. Mainly because we were all white knuckling to see if Trump would come out and just like during the State of the Union, curse one of his sexual assault victims, or in the case, I mean, in some ways, just the fact that he recognized Rush Limbaugh was a bit fucked up. But on the scale of Trump fucked up, it was relatively minor. You know what I mean? It was like gross, and finally saying goodbye to the dude essentially was what happened. And it'd be one thing if it was like in the mid 90s or even the early 2000s, but like the dude is making the guy stand up and waving at him when he has literally gone deaf because of his own drug use, where he got his own cleaning lady to like fly with 30,000 oxy pills, right? That shit. Yes, a bit fucked up. I mean, on the Tricenia, on the scale of fucked up stuff that Trump does. You know what I mean? Like his scale is so off the charts for everybody else that even like for anybody else it would almost be a career ender, but for him it was like relatively minor, right? Yeah. I hope Hal never does ads. I'm not doing ads, so you're welcome. Thanks, Patreon people. By the way, patreon.com/HalSparks. That's my only ads. And then you can Venmo me and all that kind of stuff. And if you want to super chat, one of the best ways to make sure that I never have to do ads is super chat and stars if you're on Facebook. And I don't know if Twitter pays its way or anything. But anyways, yes, everybody's hanging out in Statuary Hall waiting for this State of the Union. But Trump has already decided he's going to prebuttal. Is this it? No. Is this it? No. Is this it? No, is this it? This is it. This is it. Donald J. Trump's prebuttal to Joe Biden's State of the Union. So he doesn't give a shit what Biden's actually going to say. He's just going to say his own piece. And I have no idea how long this is. It's 3 minutes and 38 seconds. Say what you will about Trump. But he doesn't have much to say, and he doesn't spend much time saying it unless he's in front of a live audience, in which case he will bore them with the same shit 4 fucking times. I have to say, the clip that we did of him on RSBN being interviewed by the dude that bumps uglies with Marjorie Taylor Greene, the way he kind of went back to the same talking point 3 times in a row, there's like it used to be a moment that would seem like muscle memory and like he's a master of propaganda. That's how people would have taken it back in the day, even though I think arguably he's been as befuddled before as he is now, and it might be a result of the drugs that he takes. But in that particular instance, I think most people watched it and went, "Oh, shit." So let's give it a look, see, shall we? This is the prebuttal.
Joe Biden is on the run from his record.
Joe Biden is on the run from his record. No, he isn't. He's going to be bragging about his record, dummy.
And lying like crazy to try and escape accountability for the horrific devastation.
Hi, dummy. He hasn't said anything yet. I mean, it's okay to but coming as someone who's obviously everything's projection, so he's lying like crazy every day of his life, so there you go.
He and his party have created, all the while they continue the very policies that are causing this.
Hold on, back up. Say that as a whole fucking sentence.
Accountability for the horrific devastation he and his party have created, all the while they continue the very policies that are causing this horror show to go.
Jesus. All right. I thought he just kind of blew past a comma there. What the hell? All the while to go.
Joe Biden is on the run from his record. And
okay, that was a sentence. Here we go. And lying his ass off.
Lying like crazy to try and escape accountability for the horrific devastation he and his party have created, all the while they continue the very policies that are causing this horror show to go.
All right. Shit. I don't know what the fuck all the while was supposed to do there. Yeah, I'm sorry the audio is low. I'll see if I can boost it up a little bit on his end. that's as high as it's going to go. Stupid shit. Maybe there's I'll hold on. Before we jump in there real quick, let me go back to the chat room. I'm going to see real quick if, let's see, if like Forbes will sometimes put it, see if, yeah. Yeah, this is, okay, so here you go. This is, hopefully this will be louder. There we go. This is the New York Post has posted it because his own shitty channel sounds like crap.
Run from his record and lying like crazy to try and escape accountability for the horrific devastation he and his party.
Seriously, did somebody throw like a? Is there somebody with like shooting spit wads at you that we can't see? Because all the while
they have created, all the while they continue the very policies that are causing this horror show to go.
To go. Give me a glazed donut and a bottle of anything. To go. Causing this horror show to go. I gotta say, like, in the causing this horror show in the first place, right? Causing this horror show, period. Just causing this horror show, causing the horror that you see on the streets.
We cannot take it any longer as a country.
We cannot take it any longer as a country. Look, I've been watching Resident Alien, and it's really hard for me to watch him and not think that he's like a side character on that show, an alien that's just learning how to use a human body and doesn't understand language yet, and learned only, you know, like talking points for like 6 of the worst, like, first, second season Law and Order episodes.
Joe Biden's sad excuse for a State of the Union address aside, here are the facts.
By the way, he hasn't seen it yet. This is your prebuttal, dumb fuck.
When I left office, we gave Joe Biden the most secure border in U.S. history.
No, you didn't. COVID did.
We gave him remain in Mexico. Very tough to get, but I got it.
It's illegal when you don't have Title 42. You didn't get it. Title 42 got it for you because we had a public health emergency. If you're saying you want more lockdowns, then just fucking say it.
Safe third agreements, the asylum ban, Title 42.
Okay. Safe third agreements. All right, say this again.
But I got it. Safe third agreements, the asylum ban, Title 42.
Safe third agreements, the asylum ban. I think it means like safe third country, or like the country that you went to before you came here. And you can't ban asylum. The fuck are you talking about?
571 miles of border wall, rapid deportations, and much more.
Why would you need rapid deportations if your wall fucking works? I'm serious. Wall's a piece of shit. Can we just agree on that?
At the safest border in the history of our country. As soon as he got in, Crooked Joe and his radical left lunatics
restarted the economy and made us the strongest economy on earth. And nobody can figure out why the fuck suddenly people want to come here like it's the goddamn late 90s again. Gee, I can't imagine if, like, whatever, 8 out of 10 of the major South American economies have like 200% inflation. Why would anyone want to come here?
Deliberately dismantle each and every one of those policies that...
Well, I mean, you had to if you're going to stop the lockdowns, the quote-unquote lockdowns, and stop us from, you know, if there's no longer a public health emergency, then you don't have a reason to not grant asylum and all that kind of stuff. You got to work it out. You got to become a country again. You can't just, I mean, again, this is, I would argue, this is Trump's version, a pandemic version, if you will, of the war on terror. No declarations of war, no specific like actions of war that have either attacks from the outside that have put us on a war footing and any of that shit. But the war on terror just kind of can rumble along. So this is him going, I'm going to borrow all the policies made possible by the pandemic, a global pandemic that was necessary, right? It was, that at the time, and I'm just going to keep those parts. We won't keep the pandemic part, but all the policies that come with an emergency will do that, which is illegal, makes no sense, is anti-American, is unconstitutional, blah, blah, blah. But that's what he wants. He wants all the benefits of a pandemic and all the special powers you get from a pandemic without the pandemic. Doesn't work that way. You got to fucking run the country like a grown-up.
That were so good that gave us this best border, according to Tom Homan, according to Brandon Judd, the top people. They said
who, by the way, were, I think, had to stay home. They were locked down too.
It was the single best border we've ever had.
Yeah, because we had more cases than Mexico did. Nobody wanted to come here.
In recorded history.
Again. All right. And then the wall stopped working?
What's happened now is a horror show.
It's a horror show. It's a horror.
The country, our country, is being...
Oh, I'm glad he clarified that. Is it important? It is important. Now, I still don't know if he means Russia. I'm fairly certain he does.
Being laughed at all over the world.
No, when you pick up the phone and people are automatically laughing, it's because they saw your number on the screen. They saw your name come up, and they just immediately like, wonder what this motherfucker's going to do. Hello, Donald. I'll put him on speakerphone. He's going to tell us, let me guess, that the next, he's going to say rigged and stolen right away. What do you think? Rigged and stolen. What'd I tell you? Fucking hell. Anyways, I'll just put it, I'll tell you what. I'll mute it and put it on speaker, and he'll just go. We'll just let it play in the background like a radio show. If there was only one like ham radio guy who had lost his fucking mind and thought the world had ended and was broadcasting from his fucking bunker.
Over the past 3 years, Biden has actively aided and abetted the importation of millions and millions of illegal alien migrants and resettled them into
the importation of them. So they didn't walk. They came in containers.
To your communities.
In my community? Not in my community. It's your community. I mean, they work at Mar-a-Lago, you dumb fuck.
At any time during the past 3 years, crooked Joe Biden, and he is crooked as you can be, and the most incompetent president we've ever had.
He's as crooked as you can be, and without actually finding evidence that he's crooked. Obviously, there's a glass ceiling on the crooked. I mean, you would think if someone is as crooked as can be, it would be visible to the naked eye, and you would see it everywhere, like we'd be up to our eyeballs in evidence, and therefore the crookedness would be crooked, and everybody go, Jesus Christ, what a crooked. I wouldn't even have to say it. You know what? It would be an unnecessary adjective, because everybody goes, yeah, why do you keep saying crooked? We all fucking know it's crooked everywhere. Like, of course. But he's just crooked enough so that you have to tell people, but not crooked enough where you can actually see the crooked. Even if you've looked through all of his taxes and all of his bank records and all of his son's taxes and all of his son's bank records and all of his brother's taxes and all of his brother's bank records, he's just crooked enough where you could think about it, but not crooked enough where it shows in any of those documents. He's threading the crooked needle. I got to tell you, it's more, I would say he's more like a fishhook.
Could have called off the invasion, but to this day, he is keeping the hordes of illegal migrants and illegal aliens pouring into the country. By the time is
so, what's the difference between the migrant and the aliens? The aliens, you say alien, that's invasion, clearly, or whatever. Just, but you're making a distinction between migrant. I guess the migrants are staying, is the idea, or coming for a job.
Term is up. We can have close to 20 million people.
We did the burger. Ooh. Sorry. Um, 20 million people. Oh, a million. A million. 20 Are you listening to me? Why is no one screaming? I'm alone. I'm alone in here.
By the time his term is up, we could have close to 20 million people in our
Million people. I just pooped a little.
country. And we have no idea from where they come.
From why'd you just say whence? From, we have no idea from where they come. Here they come, walking down the street, get the funniest looks from everyone we meet. Hey, hey, we're the migrants.
We have no idea who they are. They have no identification.
Well, but we could tell by looking at them, can't we? I mean, by their face tattoos, and shouldn't they? I'm sorry, shouldn't we know from their like insane asylum hospital bands? Do they have any details on those things? Certainly, they're too crazy to cut them off. Walk up. Should we just check that? Well, at least we could tell the ones from the regular hospitals from the insane asylums because they're in hospital gowns with no underwear and the back's open and all that kind of stuff. And then some of them have big head bandages on, that they just woke up from a psychotic coma and.
Many come from mental institutions.
How do you know? If you don't know from whence they come, from where they come, how do you know they come from mental institutions? Again, I make the case that if you release someone from a mental institution, you go, attack America, they're going to go, but the ladies are right here. Why would they walk all that way to be crazy when they could be crazy so close to home?
Many come from prisons. They're terrorists. We have a calamity the likes of which we've never seen before.
Well, and it's I will say that's because it's obviously an invisible calamity. And that's what makes it so insidious, because the American people, for some fucking reason, seem to keep going out to dinner and going to concerts and football games, and their kids are playing Little League again like a bunch of assholes. Don't they realize that this is calamity time? It's calamity time. We're calamitizing right now. It's calamity change. It's what's happening to America. It's a calamity. I can't believe you used the word calamity. Jesus Christ.
The very first bill Joe Biden sent to Congress was a plan to turn illegal aliens into voting citizens. That's just what we need.
No, it wasn't.
No matter what Crooked Joe says, his actions prove his priority.
Oh, by the way, having a pathway to citizenship for DACA recipients is not is not the same as turning illegal aliens into voters. But that's the way he wants it. And let me remind you, for all you like uncommitted motherfuckers out there, what he's telling you with that is that to him, the DACA kids are illegal immigrants and they will be part of the roundup. So while you're going, I don't know if I'm willing to give Joe Biden my vote. Joe Biden is trying to create a legal path for the Dreamers, and this motherfucker still says that children brought here by undocumented parents who have lived here their whole life, many of whom don't even speak the language of their nation of origin, he's like, we're going to round those motherfuckers up and put them on a plane and drop them off someplace. Because you guys thought, I don't know, what's the difference? 6 of one, half dozen of another.
Is to import a colossal new illegal alien population and let them all stay. My priority is securing our border and sending Crooked Joe's illegals back home. Likewise, the sight of a feeble Joe Biden talking about shrinkflation, the term he uses.
It's an actual, he'd make it up, but yes, it is. He's mentioned it recently.
Is one of the most ridiculous things this country has ever seen.
I have to say, there's a huge chart of ridiculous things this country has seen. I mean, don't get me started, but I would put in there a myriad of things you have said and done. Not the least of which I would think actually way up higher on the list would be evangelicals supporting a pussy grabbing thrice married philanderer who talks about wanting to fuck his daughter. That goes as categorically as ridiculous goes, right up there. I don't know about just bringing up a early 2000s buzzword about something that's happened currently and that the government could do something about. Yeah.
Shrinkflation is just another way of saying inflation. It means that you're losing a lot of money.
But it's more specific than just losing a lot of money. You're losing a lot of money by getting a little less of something, and the solution to it would be different than, say, other ways you're losing money. But please explain to us all again how it works. So tell us first what it is, and then tell us that it's not a thing, and then tell us how you're going to solve it, even though it's not a thing.
Because these people don't know what they're doing.
Well, they're not doing this. The government isn't doing the shrinkflation. The MREs that go to the military, for example, are the ones we're dropping in Gaza. Same size, haven't lost a calorie. But a Snickers bar price goes up, size of the bar goes down. It's not the first time, by the way. It's not like they invented it just post-COVID. It's been around for a long time, and there's just, you either have to, this whole 30% bigger when they sell the regular, what used to be the regular size of the candy bar at a certain size as the jumbo, and now the regular one is way smaller, and they're sort of price fixing it. They're trying to squeeze their consumers. Now, again, I would argue, don't eat that shit. But in some cases, especially when it's a bag or a box or something, or it's detergent, shit like that, where you don't know how empty the box is till you get home.
It was all caused by crooked Joe Biden and the people that surround him. And they are radical left, Marxists and fascists and communists and socialists.
Well, I mean, I think you could just kind of pick one of those, right? You can't be all of them at once. I suppose you could be a Marxist socialist or whatever, and you could be a Marxist communist. But if you're a Marxist communist, you're looking at the Marxist socialists going, what the fuck took you guys so long? And the Marxist socialists are probably looking at the Marxist communists and going, guys, we're never going to be able to keep in office if we go the way you guys are going. We got to dial it back a little bit. And the Marxist communists are like, office? Fuck, we care about office. We're going to set up a committee, and if you're in, you're in. If you're out, you're out. Fuck you. And then I guess the fascists are like, what am I doing here? My clothes look fantastic, but you guys are a bunch of vagabonds. This is embarrassing.
We have people running our country, the likes of which we have never seen before.
No, actually, we have. He was vice president, and he's been in office for a long time. And a lot of the people in his cabinet actually served in Obama's cabinet or were staffers or people that he worked with. We've seen exactly these people, not even the likes of them, the individuals we've seen. I'll have you know, he's running for re-election. He also kicked your ass.
He and the communists and his party looted trillions of dollars from you and spent it on illegal aliens and the Green New scam, triggering the...
They did? When was this? They looted trillions of... Oh, you mean like your tax cut? Your unpaid for tax cut? Or the big first dump of money during COVID? Trillions of dollars.
The highest inflation in...
Oh, by the way, staying in Afghanistan, that cost us trillions. Leaving stopped that. He put a tourniquet on the shit that you ran on. Yeah, trillions of dollars.
In many, many decades. If your packages are getting smaller, that's...
It's not a problem, man. It's not a problem. Just saying. This seems to be a personal issue. I would, if I were you, I would go talk to Dr. Ronnie. It's
the reason why, under my leadership, there was no inflation.
Well, that's because the fucking economy collapsed entirely. Like, we had a massive pandemic you said would go away when the sun came out in the spring.
We had the greatest economy in the history of the world.
No, we didn't.
It's time to tell crooked Joe Biden, you're fired. Joe Biden is...
Well, isn't that your line? Why the fuck are you putting me to work? What are you, the IKEA of politics, motherfucker? Like, you're fired / some assembly required?